Hello, my test. Hey. So I would like to request everyone to settle down and let us prepare ourselves for the opening ceremony. A quick reminder to all of us that to mute your mic off while someone is speaking, turn it on only when you are going to respond or ask a question. Our meeting chat is available too if you want to address your questions there. And you may turn on your camera voluntarily to avoid technical glitches and lagging. Actively participate and ask questions. And lastly, listen, learn, and have fun because this is for you.
Claret Research Team is a student research organization aimed to develop researches, innovations, and analysis at different levels.
Claret Research Team aims to synergize extension programs geared towards active community, therefore providing chances and opportunities to our students, the teachers, and the whole school to build and establish connections locally and globally.
It augments research writings, contributions, and publications with local and national competition.
So what are the perks of being a Claret Research Team? One of which is you will be able to go to local, national, international meetings and conferences.
Get to know experts, researchers, and scientists from different parts of the world.
Meet new friends across country and world.
Conference presented research papers, professional and student level.
Research and development project.
Again, I am requesting everyone to settle down and let us prepare ourselves for the opening ceremony. Okay, again, I would like to request everyone to settle down and let us prepare ourselves for the opening ceremony. She will have us to have an opening prayer. So, to our participants na hindi pa nakapag-rename ng kanilang display name, so, wait, our technical will display the proper or yung desired na ipa-rename ang mga display name nyo based on your skills development program and also to our participants na outside Claret. So ayun, as I have looked on our participants, we are currently having 132 participants as of the moment. And may nakikita po ako na hindi nag-rename ng kanilang display name. So I am highly encouraging na nandito sa meeting na to please name according to your uh, skills development program, or if you are outside of the institution or Claret institution, yes, please. Okay. So for STEM Skills Development Program students, you may rename your name. Ito po yung ipa-follow natin. For Nightingale students, for Basic Electronics Development Program students, for Language and Communication Skills Development Program students, for Business Technology Skills Development students. So ito po yung yung format ng display name nyo. So kindly rename it. Okay, so for the teachers who belong to the grade school, junior, or senior high school unit, ito po yung ifa-follow nyo. Follow nyo, ma'am and sir. For student Congress officers, ito po, SC_ given name and family name. For the Fuego Claretiano office heads, ito po, EFC_ given name and family name. For the junior high school students from grade 7 to grade 10, ayun, grade level, or kung ano po yung grade nyo, for example, grade level or grade 7_ given name space family name. So for the participants outside the School of Zamboanga City, for your format of your display name will be like this: institution acronym _ given names is family name. Or if you are from ADSU or Ateneo de Zamboanga University, you will rename your display name ADSU _ given name space family name. All right. Again, I am reminding you, so these are our general guidelines before we are going to start this webinar. Mute your mic off while someone is speaking and turn it on only when you are going to respond or ask a question. Or if ayaw nyo naman i-express verbally, you can use our meeting chat and our team will do our best to answer your queries. Second, you may turn on your camera voluntarily to avoid technical glitches and lag. Third one is participate and ask questions. The last one is to listen, learn, and have fun, because this is for you. Okay, so everyone in this meeting, I would like to request to settle down and let us prepare ourselves for the opening ceremony.
Journeying beyond the horizon, one in the light of faith and mission, hearts ablaze, forever grateful, consecrated to Christ, who urges us on. We are called for the mission, forged in the heart of Mary, inspired by the life of communion, transformed in the spirit of Claret, journeying beyond the horizon, one in the light of faith and mission, hearts ablaze, forever grateful, consecrated to Christ, who urges us on. Sent to proclaim the word, forth we go in the service of the people, in prophetic solidarity, in justice and peace, witnesses of mercy and compassion, journeying beyond the horizon, one in the light of faith and mission, hearts ablaze, forever grateful, consecrated to Christ, who urges us on. Through the years of commitment to mission, sharing the gospel joy midst tribulations, that God may be known, loved, served, and adored by all. Journeying beyond the horizon, one in the lights of faith and mission, hearts ablaze, forever grateful, consecrated to Christ, who urges us on. One in the lights of faith and mission, hearts ablaze, forever grateful. We are missionaries. We adore, we proclaim, we go forth.
ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Zamboanga, hermosa, preciosa, Clarita, orgullo de Mindanao, orgullo de Mindanao.
So that's it for our opening ceremony. Okay, so good afternoon to each and everyone. So before we introduce first speaker for this activity, I am going to introduce myself first. So I am Jana Rojas, a grade 12 student and a member of Computer Engineering Skills Development Program. And I am going to be the master of the ceremony for today's afternoon, for this afternoon's activity. Okay, hindi naman sa pa-fall ako, pero may I ask the participants if kumain kayo? Or to respond, I am encouraging everyone to use the reaction button, maybe like ba or haha or wow react. Yeah, this one. Shit, this one. Yeah. Am I audible? So I am going to turn off my camera because my internet is slow right now. Okay, so may I know if kumain na ba mga participants natin? Use the the reaction button sa baba, like ba or heart or haha. Ayan, may nag-react na. I can already see it on my screen. Ayun. Ayun. Yan, mukhang madami-dami na rin ang kumain. No? So, out of 159 respond, sila lang ba yung kumain this after, nung lunch? Sila lang ba yung kumain ng lunch nila? Okay, so, without further ado, no? And now I'm going to present to you the one who will give us the opening remarks. Yan. She is part of she's the researcher of the Biomaterials Research Group, the Vice President of STEM Skills Development Program of Claret School of Zamboanga City, and a member of El Fuego Claretiano. Let us welcome Ms. Anissa Chua. I think Miss Anissa Chua is currently having a technical problem po ba?
Hello, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, and you are audible. Yes.
Marks? Is it okay? Okay, thank you. So, to all of the attendees, to all of the grade 11 and grade 12 students who are present today, the teachers and administrators who are with us, as well as all the individuals outside the institution, a pleasant and a wonderful afternoon to all. The Claret School of Zamboanga City Senior High School, through our very own Claret Research Team, in collaboration with the STEM Skills Development Program, the Fuego Claretiano, and the Student Congress, we would like to greet you all a warmest welcome as we all gather with today's panel discussion on how to effectively pitch research proposals, a personal experiences from the Claret Research Team Ates and Kuyas. With our discussion moderator, Ms. Ruth Iturralde, lead quantitative researcher. And for the reactor and synthesis, we have Ms. Eliza Amor Sanchez, the lead qualitative researcher. Both are respective research moderators for grades 12 and 11. In today's panel discussion, it's not just an ordinary discussion that we would pass and run away with. Today's discussion is a discussion that we would make sure that we are always prepared with the study, the preparation, that we would like to prove not just for ourselves, but also for the people to learn, to be educated, and to take inspiration from. To gather research is not just a basic put together literature and theories. It is where plans are made, blueprints are created, proposals are prepared, and stress will surely be piled up. But please don't be afraid, as the Claret Research Team aims to help us cope and improve our understanding, and for us to face these upcoming proposals with less fear and more confidence within. Finally, let us sit back, relax, and enjoy, and let the discussion begin. Thank you.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Anissa Chua. That was a amazing opening remarks. Ayan. Moving on to our next speaker, yeah, the one who will give us the introduction of discussants rather. She is a collaborator from Tsunagi Research Project, a researcher of the Biomaterials Research Group, and the president of Student Congress of Claret School of Zamboanga City. Let us give Herlene Kate Aizon a virtual round of applause.
Is my camera open?
In my screen, Kate, ayun. I can clearly see you.
You can't see me?
Kitang-kita na kita sa screen ko, Kate. Okay na po.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to extend a warm greeting to everyone in this webinar once more. I am looking forward to all of the amazing discussions that we'll be having today. Now, before we begin, let me remind you of one thing. This is a safe space where we can express our queries and satisfy our curiosities with no judgments and no repercussions. Joining us today are alumni contributors of Claret Research Team and co-authors of COVID-19 response proposal of CRT's bioethanol for surface disinfection research study. Let's welcome Natalie Dane Kabig, a civil engineering student from Mapua University, with the following scholastic works: Determining chlorine present in the water of Claret School of Zamboanga City using corn cob biochar, and methylene blue adsorption capacity of corn cob biochar research projects. We also have Alexis John Barrientos, a legal management student from Ateneo de Zamboanga University. Some of their scholastic works are Safety Level of Potable Drinking Water of Claret School of Zamboanga City, and Analysis of Average Water Flow Rate of Claret School of Zamboanga City, Martires de Barbastro Buildings Water Piping and Distribution System using equation of continuity and Bernoulli's principle of fluid flow. Now we have Ahmeddin Hamja, a mechanical engineering student from Western Mindanao State University of Zamboanga City. Some of his scholastic works are The Effectiveness of Madagascar Periwinkle Mixture as an Alternative Cockroach Exterminator, Adsorption Capacity of Bamboo-Based Biosorption on Chlorine Ions from Aqueous Solution, and Production and Bactericidal Activity of mango peeling-based bioethanol for surface disinfection. Now, these are the pioneering members of Claret research team. Most of their works were published as conference paper and poster in SPVM National Physics Conference and Regional Research Conference. Now, last but not the least, she was from Batch Apex of Claret School of Zamboanga City and currently studying Bachelor of Science in Nursing in Ateneo de Zamboanga University. The first CSZZ Student Congress President, and also took part in the following organizations like El Consejo Atenista, Department of Student Development and Leadership, Nursing Academic Organization Marketing Department, Nursing Academic Organization Council of Representatives, and Better Our Best Group. Some of our recent scholastic works are a case study of nursing management for a newborn with physiologic jaundice, and nursing management for a premature newborn with respiratory distress syndrome. Let us also welcome Shira May na PE. Thank you very much for joining us today. They will be our panelists for this webinar's panel discussion. Thus concludes my introduction. I will now be handing the floor to them. Thank you.
So talagang ang dami nilang achievements and na-overwhelm ako, and I am so proud sa kanilang mga achievements ng ating mga ates and kuyas. So let us proceed now to our panel discussion, as what Kate Izon mentioned, kung sino magiging panelist natin, sina Kuya Adi Hamja, Ate Shaira na PE, Kuya Alexis Barrientos, and Ate Natalia Kabi. Siyempre, hindi naman I'm sorry. I'm sorry, nawala po ako. Ayun. Okay, so Ms. Ruth Iturralde, she is the lead quantitative researcher and the moderator of STEM Skills Development Program. So, ika nga nila, sit back and relax. I hope you will enjoy and actively participate on this discussion. So, let us begin with our panel discussion.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Rojas, for that. Before anything else, or before proceeding to our panel discussion, allow me first to mention some few people who are with us this afternoon, especially to our administrators, to our high school principal, Ma'am Daisy Binatividad. Thank you so much for gracing your time with us this afternoon. To our assistant principal for academic affairs, we have Mrs. Marie-Jeanette Rivera and Mrs. Christy Gumera. And also, thank you so much to the Claret research team mentors, Sir Daniel Hernandez, Ma'am Eliza Amor Sanchez and Ma'am Donna Merica Borda. To the faculty members of Claret School of Zamboanga City, Junior High School and Senior High School, thank you so much for being with us here this afternoon. To the students, grade 11 and grade 12 participants, and also to our participants from other schools, okay, and outside Claret. And of course, hindi ko po makakalimutan yung ating mga panelists today who will be sharing their experiences, their expertise as well sa kung paano tayo magpipresent during the panel discussion or during the defense, diba? Thank you so much for gracing your time with us this afternoon. So I believe that all of us are very excited and ready for this panel discussion, aren't we? Ready na ba? Can you guys give a haha icon if you are ready? Sige daw. Allow me to see your excitement by clicking the haha icon. Di ba? Haha talaga. Ayun. So, bakit yan may angry? Charot lang. O parang may isang angry na tiger dyan. Tiger ba yun or lion? I don't know. Oo, sige. So, I know and I believe that all of us are ready. Thank you so much. So, hindi ko na po patatagalin to, and I believe that with this panel discussion we will be having, all of us will gain knowledge as to how we deliver ourselves, as to how we present ourselves during the defense. So, later on, pasasalamatin natin yung mga magsa-share ngayon sa atin. So here it is, hindi ko na po patatagalin. Yon. Among our four, ayun na sila. I believe that ready na yung mga ready na yung mga invited speakers natin to answer these questions, okay? So I have few questions for you to answer, my dear speakers, para at least magkakaroon kami ng mga ideas sa kung paano kami magdi-defense, di ba? And I believe that grade 11 and grade 12 students are now intense, di ba? Parang parang nagiging anxious na kasi they will be having their defense next week. So yun, medyo timely talaga siya kasi before sila magdi-defense, ayun, sasagutin niyo muna tong mga tanong na to. Ready na bang ating mga speakers dyan? Oo, ready na sila, ang ating mga alumni. Okay, so here is my first question, guys. Okay, ready na ba? Parang Q&A lang, no? Ano ba to? Pageant ba to? Hindi. Sige. This is my first question. Okay. I know that you are doing research, di ba? Gumagawa na kayo ng research and you have a lot of experiences in doing such. Pero eto, what was your first impression on research writing? Diba? Or, ano yung naging impression nyo in writing research at bakit yun yung naging impression nyo? I believe that all of the researchers have this first impression towards research writing. So, let us hear your answer. Sino? Sige. Among our four invited speakers, what was your first impression on research writing and bakit yun yung naging impression ninyo? Who knows? You guys have the same impression doon sa mga participants natin, di ba? Yeah. Can I hear Mr. Barrientos? Hello, Mr. Barrientos. Nice to see you again. Ayun. Sige.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
What was your first impression?
My first impression when I was introduced to research writing was, I must admit, it was a bit scary. Because first and foremost, it was introduced sa amin back in regional science high nung first year junior high. So moving from grade school, it was really shocking na may ganun kaming subject. Then, although my research teachers kami, it was really hard for us to cope because that kind of workload was really new to us, no. But luckily, our research advisors really held their ground. Kahit nagpapanik kami, they paved the way for us to be able to present our very first research paper, kumbaga. But as time goes by, I think nawawala naman yung ganung klaseng impression. It becomes less scary, especially if it is something that you really want to pursue. So yeah, that's my first impression, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Barriento. So, yung first impression daw ni Mr. Alexis is he was scary. So, I believe na hindi naman majority, if hindi lahat, diba? Scary siya kasi pag when we hear the word research, ay, bin manadagan sa ko sa ali. That is very technical. That is difficult to do. That's why we became anxious. We became natatakot tayo, di ba, in doing such. But sabi nga ni Mr. Barrientos, if you have the passion to do it, di ba, as time goes by, nagiging less scary na siya. So, yung mga grade 11, grade 12 students natin who are having fear right now in writing the research, so gayahin nyo si Mr. Barrientos. Love the research. Have the passion to do it. And kaya nyo yun. Okay, so thank you so much for that. What about Miss Shaira? Hi, Miss Shaira. Yon. What was your first impression, Miss Shaira, when it comes to research writing?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ma'am. So, being part of siguro the first ever batch of the senior high school curriculum, back in junior high, we really didn't have anything. We really didn't talk about research at all. So, more on when it comes to writing or academic activities, we have more on essay, feature writing, ganon. So when we already went to senior high, when we started senior high, and I first knew that we had a research subject, I was really nervous at that time, and I was also scared. But at the same time, I was excited because it is something that I have never done before. Even simple journal reading, reading researches, I really didn't do that back in junior high school. So parang wala akong interest in that kind of field, yung research. But then, biglang when we went to senior high, meron palang research talaga as a subject. So, kailangan naming gumawa ng full-blown research on our own. And wala kaming any idea at all kung paano yun kasi hindi talaga kami sanay back in junior high. So, nung we started, it was introduced to us, research, how to do it. Sobrang haba pala niya. So, para talagang naging intimidating siya at some point and naging sobrang challenging. But then, along the way, yung nervousness that I felt, yung parang I don't know what it is, it turned into an excitement na it motivated me in the long run to do well and to write a kind of research that is something na my contribution to the field of interest that me and my group have decided at that time.
So yon, thank you for that, Miss na PE. So nervousness, andun pa rin yung scary, andun yung nervousness. But again, if you have started to love doing the research, nawawala yan. So gaya lang din yan sa pagmamahal, 'di ba? Una, scary kayo sa alam niyo na, sa pag-engage into pagmamahal. But if you have started to love that person, then nagiging less scary na siya. So dapat gano'n din sa research, 'di ba? Medyo intimidating at first point, pero if you have started to love it, smooth yung flow natin. So gaya na sinabi ni Miss na PE, intimidating pero naging motivation siya. Okay? So yon, thank you so much for that, Miss na PE. Now let us hear from Miss Kabig.
Yes, good day everyone.
Good day.
Siguro sa akin po, mas relax lang po ata ako nun kasi nung junior high school pa po, we had researchers na eh. We had qualitative and quantitative before, but hindi siya ganun ka-detailed. And so, nung nag-start po ako sa Claret, naging intimidating siya konti. Kasi I didn't know kung ano po talaga yung gagawin sa research nun eh. Kasi hindi siya ganun ka-detailed yung ginawa namin sa junior. But thankfully, nagkaroon ako ng mga kasama na tinulungan din po talaga ako nun. So, if ever man kayo, mga researchers ngayon, may mga kasama kayo sa research nyo, just remember na hindi naman kayo nag-iisa. So, you don't have to be afraid naman in doing your research talaga. You just have to have the courage to learn more. Just have that drive to learn more talaga. Yun po.
So yan, thank you so much for that, Miss Kabig, diba? So side naman ni Miss Kabig, she was relaxed. Relaxed siya because she has already this, ano ba yan? Ano ba yan? Tawag dyan? Yung mga, anong tawag doon? Yung mga previous information and previous experiences in relation to research. So back then when she was in junior high school, may kinandak na sila na research. That's why nung pagka senior high, ganon, nawala na yung medyo yun, nawala na yung kaba, medyo relax na siya. And also, yung mga partner, yung mga classmates is nagtutulungan. So my dear grade 11 and grade 12 students, is if someone is struggling writing their research paper, so dapat andun kayo sa side nila, tulungan nyo if you know naman. Diba? So let's help one another in writing the research, in finishing your research paper. So ayun, wala ata si Mr. Hamza. Parang nawala si Mr. Hamza, no? Parang nawala siya sa screen ko. Andito ba siya? I just want to confirm. Andito ba si Mr. Hamza? Wala. Okay, parang tatlo. Sige. Alright, so yun guys. So I believe that yung mga first impression nila ate and kuya ninyo can somehow be the same as your first impression. Research nakakatakot, research kinakabahan ako, research is mahaba, RRL pa lang kansaw yale, di ba? Yung mga ganun. But at the end of the day, let research be your motivation, let research be your driving. O parang tawang-tawa si Miss Nika dyan sa RRL na minention ko. So yon, let research be your motivation and let research be your driving force, di ba? Yung ganun. Para at the end of the day, hindi sayang yung sinimulan nyo na. Love research, huwag kayong ma-intimidate sa research kasi masaya ang research. Di ba CRT, masaya ang research? O isang hahanga dyan sa mga CRT natin. Oo, di ba masaya ang research? Ayun, so yun guys, yun po ang ating ang first impression ng ating mga invited speakers. Now, since sinabi na natin na nakakatakot ang research, yung mga ganong bagay, pero hindi talaga nating maiwasan yung pagsulat, 'di ba, ng research. Now, in conducting a research, how do you view conducting research studies as a skill and as an opportunity to experience great things? 'Di ba? Uulitin ko po. Andun na tayo sumusulat na tayo ng research and all, but how do you view conducting a research study as a skill and as an opportunity to experience great things? Ano po yung view nila on that? Conducting research as a skill and as an opportunity to experience great things. And in what manner kaya nagiging skills ang pag-conduct ng research? And in what manner kaya nagiging or nakaka-experience tayo ng mga great things through research? Did you also experience that one ba? Or ano po yung magiging natin dito? View natin dito. Sige. To our invited speakers, you are free. Anyone can just start or anyone can just answer yung sa mga invited speakers natin. From Mr. Barrientos, Miss Napi, and Miss Kabi. Di ba? Q&A, ganun. Hindi to Q&A. Pero parang ganun na rin. Yeah.
I think I will go first.
Yes, Miss Napi, thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, to answer the question. So, like what I mentioned earlier, kami kasi yung first batch of senior high, and during junior high, we did not do any research activities also, unlike siguro sa na-mention kanina ni na Alexis and ni Miss Kabig. So, di talaga, as in super zero, I believe super zero talaga yung idea ko, knowledge ko during the time when we started doing research na. So along the way, while we were doing it, I really realized at the end of the day, naggrabe yung naging impact ng research sa akin in a way that I really learned and I really improved my academic writing and oral skills. So because the language kasi you use in research is very different from essays, So from future writing. So pag sa research kasi talagang dapat yung language is sobrang academic, formal siya, formal language siya. And yun yung isang writing skill na hindi talaga ako sanay ever since. So sobra ako nag-struggle with writing. How do we write it in a formal language? How do I use formal language in conveying what I want to say in order to complete certain chapters ng research, most especially sa RRL. So RRL kasi isa talaga yan sa feeling ko until now, for me personally, RRL sobra siyang mahirap talaga siyang gawin out of all the chapters. Ito talaga yung kailangan mong pagbigyan ng sobrang daming time kasi you will need to read so many long journals, so many long researches, and you have to create a certain flow of your RRL where these journals that you have reviewed will coincide with what you want to talk about sa RRL ng research mo. So parang in that way, sa RRL talaga ako natuto na magsulat, and I was really able to use siguro my critical thinking skills. Kasi in RRL, hindi lang siya basta-bastang magko-combine ka ng mga na-review mo. Yung parang isa-summarize mo yung na-review mo. Kailangan mo mag-create ng flow. Kailangan mo mag-isip, paano mo ba ipipresent ito in a way na may connection siya. Mababasa ng readers or makukuha ng readers yung point mo. Kung bakit mo ba sinasabi yung mga certain literatures na to dito. So sa ganung way, I really learned how to write well, I believe. So until now that I'm already in college, I'm not doing researches naman kasi that is based on innovative things, ganon. Our researches kasi now is more on siguro behaviors because given our field. So until now, actually, I still review our RRL way back from my research in grade 12. So nire-review ko pa rin siya kasi it's very different. It really gave me, parang yun yung naging foundation ko with how I write now, how I use and practice what I have learned from before. So it's really a great opportunity, learning opportunity talaga siya, that you can actually still bring until you go to college or even until I believe you become a professional and do your master's or PhD degrees.
So yun. Yeah, tama talaga yung sinabi ni Miss na PE, guys, okay? Because when you do research, dapat hindi lang natin siya tinitake as a requirement. Okay, dapat iniisip din natin na when we do this, there are skills na probably hindi pa na-develop sa atin, pero mada-develop siya because of doing or because of writing a research. Example na sinabi ni Miss na PE earlier na na-develop yung oral and writing skills niya because again, in research, we really have to follow yung academic writing, technical writing at that. So medyo hindi masyado nakitaan ni Miss na PE na meron siyang ganung klaseng skill, but because of research na ilabas niya yon. Also the oral skills, because of course you have this research, you have to defend it, and kailangan nyong magsalita, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon. So in that way, if shy type kayo sa classroom, wala kayong choice but to really speak and to defend your paper in front of the panel. So in that manner, kung feeling nyo, ay, kaya ko naman pala, may maibugam man naman pala ako when it comes to oral speaking or public speaking at that, di ba? And yun yung nakitaan ni Miss na PE with research. And also, with research, sabi nga ni Miss PE, there are great things na mabubukas sa atin, di ba? Like, for example, if your research is beneficial, so pwede siyang maging contribution, yung mga ganon. So yon, research is not just a requirement. Please take note of this. Hindi na siya basta-bastang requirement na dapat natin isubmit at the end of the school year, but it also an avenue for us to develop and for us to ano ba yun? Para mailabas yung mga skills na meron natin. Hidden skills, hidden talents. Sabi nga ni Miss na PE, we have to devote much of our time in research. So dapat research na lang ako para may time kayo sa akin. Di ba yung mga ganon? But yeah, kidding aside, we really have to devote much of our time in research, particularly sabi ni Miss PE in RRL. Di ba? When you are reading RRL, nade-develop yung critical thinking skills natin, tadola din yung kabesa, si tama ba to? Kailangan ko pa ba to isali or not, 'di ba? So aside from oral, written, your critical thinking skills is also developed. Dahil lang yan sa research, 'di ba? So as early as now, devote your time in research, love research. Ayun, 'di ba si RT? Oo. Yes, ma'am, ganon. So yeah, what about from Miss Kabig? Ayun, ano yung mga skills na na-develop, do you think na na-develop or nailabas mo because of research? Sige,
Para
Miss
naman
Kabig.
po sa akin, research in any aspect naman po. When something fresh is put on the table, research is most useful. And to add anything new to your knowledge and conduct good research, critical thinking is required. And I think analytical reasoning is one of the crucial research skills, which I think takes a lot of experience talaga. And yun yung skill na hindi siguro na-enhance ng junior high school na research namin. Kasi we didn't have siguro yung mga equipments and stuff na kailangan namin for our data gathering, and we didn't have much sessions to discuss siguro kung ano talaga yung dapat na i-expect and kung ano yung gagawin talaga sa research. Because napaka-shallow lang din po naman experience na yun. Because coming from a public school siguro, we didn't have the budget to really widen our scope nung panahon na yun. So, wala akong chance na i-practice talaga yun. And nung pumasok po ako sa Claret, when I started my scientific research, doon po talaga na-open yung mind ko sa data gathering and yung pag-analyze ko talaga ng data. Kasi yung data mo yung magsusupport sa research mo eh. And I think yun yung isa sa mga na-develop. And another thing is yung pagsasalita po na siguro na mas natural. Because when you're presenting your research, you carry your pride. Sa'yo yun. You own that research. So, pag kilala mo yung research mo, you expect sa'yo ng tao na natural yung labas ng salita sa'yo. Because parang pinipresenta mo lang yung sarili mo pag pinipresent mo yung research. So, I think yun yung isa sa mga dapat na i-consider ng mga researchers ngayon, na they have to really know their research, take time to read talaga yung sinabi nga po ni Miss na yung sa RRL, because isa yan sa mag-guide sa'yo sa pagtatapos ng research mo.
Ayun. Wait lang. Parang
nawala ata.
Okay, Miss Kabig, okay na ba? Parang, I don't know.
Nawala po ata.
Sa reception ko lang ba yung nawala or parang
I'm having trouble with my signal din po kasi kalilipat. Because I don't know.
Okay. Okay, sige. So you were saying?
Already there. Nawala na ako.
Okay. Ako lang pala yung nawala. Okay, sige. So yeah. So yeah, sabi nga ni Miss Kabig, sorry for that guys. So sabi nga ni Miss Kabig, 'di ba? With research, okay, you can also become innovators. Kasi 'di ba, in her experiences way back junior high school, medyo walang masyadong yung availability ng materials to do the experiments, to do the research is limited lang. So because of research, they can innovate. Like they can look for ways, they can look for alternatives na pwedeng i-replace those materials para magawa nila ng research. So if we are to consider that one, research alone is hindi talaga siya sobrang mahirap as long as you can think creatively, you can innovate something, and you can look for other materials as an alternative sa kung yung mga available materials na pwede nating maging alternative, di ba? Where kapag wala talagang available materials. So in that manner, hindi lang kayo basta-basta gumagawa ng research or hindi lang na-develop yung critical thinking skills nyo, but you also become innovators, di ba? Because of research. Dahil lang yun sa research. Di ba? Agree ka ba doon, Mr. Barrientos? Okay,
Yes,
agree ka ba
I
doon,
agree.
Mr. Barrientos? O agree si Mr. Alexis? Sige. Ano pa yung gusto mong i-add, Mr. Barrientos? Aside from dapat andun yung time, andun. Minention na naman ni Miss Cabig yung time. Di ba? Guys, pag wala kayong OWA, ganun, mag-research na lang kayo. Doon na lang i-devote yung time ninyo. Di ba? O, di ba? Ganun. At least may benefit, di ba, ang research. Kidding aside, din. Sige, Mr. Barrientos, ano yung masasabi mo about dito?
So I think it's more of a takeaway actually. A few takeaways sa pag-conduct ng research over the past few years. God, that sound old. Was I guess yung pag-hone ng basic material analysis. See, for example, as what they have mentioned before, mahirap maghanap ng RRL, especially those who can substantially contribute to your papers. There were times kasi talaga na binabasa mo yung title, ganyan, you feel like hindi siya makakatulong. But as you read along the lines, may paragraph doon na nag-point to another paper, then hindi mo yun nakita kasi nag-skim ka lang. So I think naging sorry about that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that conducting research honed my skill in terms of I guess analyzing data, correlating it to essentially our arguments or our stand in our paper, what we're trying to prove. I guess recently, here in legal management, we're not doing same with Ate Shaira. It's not necessarily innovative research, but it falls on the line of legal research. So we have a moot court that we have to study for, and we have different arguments and all that, and we have to look for related literatures or for this instant cases that can substantiate our arguments. And it was really not that easy because aside from the kind of argument we have to essentially prove, it's really somewhat the argument itself was hard to prove, and so looking for anything to substantiate it was also hard. But as you just have to essentially read what you're trying to look for. You don't just read the first few sentences of the paper, then just tell yourself na, hindi ko kasama. So yun. And in relation to that, I think it also taught me patience. Well, because yun nga, hindi siya madaling gawin, hindi madali maghanap. And I think for the most part dati, I can recall ilang beses na akong napasabi ng, ayaw ko naman, kapoy. Copy-paste ko na lang. So guys, that's a big no-no. Okay? Do not copy and paste your RRLs kasi chances are, the moment kailangan niya yun ipagtanggol, hindi niya maipagtatanggol. So, no. Basahin niya talaga. So yeah, also yung reading comprehension and yun din, defending research papers, titles, and proposal before helped me now in college na essentially every busman namin, subject namin in legal management, kailangan nga namin mag-propose ng ganito, ganyan. So, I'm confident to say na I have refined my academic speaking skills in terms of defending. So, years of experience in terms of defending your papers can really develop that. So I learned how to carry myself in front of a panel, present facts that is only, I guess, what they need. So, yun.
Okay. So yun, thank you so much for that, Mr. Barrientos. So sabi nga ni Alexis, ni Mr. Barrientos, diba? When you do research, dapat kailangan nyo or dapat alam nyo kung paano siya ipagtanggol. Diba? So buti pa si research, pinagtatanggol natin, diba? Tayo naman ginost lang. So dapat research na lang talaga tayo, diba? Kasi dinidefend talaga natin, diba? Ito, ganito, ganyan. So ganon. So again, in totality to our grade 11 and grade 12 students, when we do research, okay, if there are skills na meron na tingin nyo is wala kayo, so probably because of research, madedevelop yan at mailalabas nyo yan. Specifically, yung oral skills natin, yung written skills natin, yung the way we think, how we deal with the words, how we deal with the articles, the literatures and studies critically, diba? So if tingin nyo, hindi nyo pa na ilalabas to, but with research, expect nyo na mailabas nyo yan. So these are the skills and these are the great things na experience ng ating mga speakers when they did research or when they write their research. So I hope to our grade 11 grade 12 students, hope na madadevelop nyo rin yung mga skills nito and hope na mailalabas nyo rin the same skills na nailabas ng ating mga speakers nung ginawa nila yung research paper nila. So yon, we the Claret Research Team Mentors are looking forward for that. Okay, so sana mailabas nyo yung mga ganong skills. Yon, so that's it. Thank you so much for giving your experiences and answers, my dear speakers. So moving forward to our third question. Ganito. All right, so having been said all the skills na sinabi nyo kanina na ito dinevelop ko, na ito na ilabas ko, among all of those skills, what is the most important thing or skill that research has taught you? Parang Miss Universe na lang, diba, ang peg? Okay? Diba? What is the most important thing or skills that research has taught you? And ano tingin nyo bakit? Yung pinaka-importante. Sige, kasi we have mentioned about oral skills, creativity, mga ganon, critical thinking skills, being pag-i-innovate, diba? Writing skills. But among all of those, what is the most important? Sige, sino kaya ang mag-start ngayon? I think Miss Tabig will start first. O parang, ano tayo ngayon? Roulette, di ba? Kanina kasi si Mr. Barrientos, tapos si Miss na PE. So again, dito naman si Miss Cabig. Go! Go, Nat!
Okay.
Candidate number 1 ka ngayon, di ba? Sige.
Si Mang, alam mo naman, ayaw ang nauuna eh. Okay.
Wala ka choice. Ikaw na lang wala, hindi nauna. Ganun. Okay.
Okay.
Go, Nat.
Siguro considering po sa course na tinake ko ngayon, which is civil engineering, isa sa mga naturo sa akin ng research is yung sa skill ng analytical reasoning. Kasi nagagamit ko po talaga siya ngayon. Kakapasok lang po namin siguro nung start ng first year pa lang po, we had lab works na agad. So, wala akong masyad. Siguro kung walang senior high school before, I would have the trouble siguro to analyze things because very new talaga siya, chemicals and stuff. Because we had online laboratories, so no excuse yung pandemic. So meron kaming experiments na parang actual talaga ginagawa, even though siguro na sa computer, parang na siya. Parang nasa totoong buhay talaga kami. So yung siguro yung mga data na parang raw talaga. So nasa sa amin talaga kung paano namin siya i-analyze. And siguro sa environment kami na iba-iba yung turo ng pag-analyze before. So I had the skills na pwede i-pitch in sa group nung panahon na yun. Tapos nagkaroon na ako ng research sa Claret pa lang, 2 research na yun. So alam ko na kung paano mag-approach sa mga data. Kung paano mo titingnan siguro yung mga data. Tapos kung ano yung i-expect mo. So isa yun sa mga skills na naturo sa akin ng research. So habang pinipresent namin yung mga gather namin, yung conclusion, mas relaxed kami noon, kaya namin yung ginagawa namin, na alam namin kung ano yung ginagawa talaga namin. So, mas natural yung labas ng mga salita sa'yo at mas believable siya. Yun po.
Yes. Yun. Yeah, that is really true about research, guys. When you do research, ito yung isa sa pinaka-importanteng bagay and ito yung isa sa pinaka-importanteng skill na pwede niyong matutunan when doing research is to being analytic, because you have to deal your data, each of your data ng masinsinan. You really have to analyze each of the data na meron kayo for us to arrive with an exact and accurate answer or exact or accurate outcome. Kasi diba, pag hindi kayo mag-analyze ng maigi or if you are not analytic enough to analyze the data, probably magiging bias ang data at the end of your paper, hindi magiging maayos or hindi nyo ma-achieve really sa kung ano yung ang gusto nyong ma-achieve. Kasi yun na nga, hindi maayos yung pag-analyze, hindi kayo naging analytic in analyzing the data. And yun yung pinaka-importanteng bagay and skill na natutuhan ni Ms. Cabig in doing research. And you can also apply this one in real life, diba? If hindi kayo nagiging analytic in dealing with life, diba? At some point, nagiging komplikado ang ating mga bagay-bagay, 'di ba? So same lang din yan sa research. Dapat analytic tayo, dapat masinsinan yung pag-analyze ng data and all for us to arrive with accurate and exact answer or outcome. So yun ang sabi ni Ms. Tabig. What about Mr. Barrientos? Last naman si Ms. na PE. O, di ba? Umikot ang roleta. Parang si Mr. Hamja, andito na ba? O, mamaya si Mr. Hamja yung first talaga, yung sa mga succeeding, mga next questions, di ba? Top 1 talaga yan si Mr. Hamja. Sige, Mr. Alexis, ano yung natutuhan mo or ano yung skills na natutuhan mo when you did research? At bakit? Parang kung miss you talaga. Kasi Mr. Barrientos, ano to siya? Mr. Macho. Ganun. Kidding aside. Okay. Go, Mr. Alexis.
For me, like, one of the things that's really important to me, especially when you're conducting research or in anything, writing papers academically, I think one of the most important skills that you have to hone is learning how to ask the right questions. Kasi, for example, may gusto kayong topic na gawing research, ganyan. You have your titles and all that. Pero pagdating, let's say, before man kayo dumating sa data collection, you have to have your statement of the problem. If doon pa lang you end up formulating questions na at the end of the day, hindi naman siya makakatulong sa overall flow ng paper nyo, or those sets of questions would not necessarily help you in achieving what you want to achieve with your paper, then talagang sasabit talaga ang paper nyo. So for me, learning how to ask the right kind of questions with regards to your topic is really important. Na-discover ko na like it's really ganun ka-importante nung nag-move forward kami. Like, we ended up asking the wrong question in regards to an argument the attorney tossed to our group. Then doon pa lang na-realize ko na kung ito na lang sana ang sinabi namin, hindi kami ma-roadblock ng ganito. So yun, like, just don't rush your paper. Intindihin nyo talaga anong gusto nyong ma-achieve. Then at the end of the day, ask yourself talaga ba kung these kinds of questions would really help you get the results you want at the end of the day, or is it just for the sake na may masulat ka? So you have to decide, differentiate, and well, execute, answer them. So that's all.
Yes. That's really on point, Mr. Barrientos. Before I'll comment, I'd like to acknowledge first the presence of Miss Rosario Siega. Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for being with us here this afternoon. Ayun. So going back kay Mr. Barrientos, having the skill and the ability to ask the correct question, or to ask or to formulate the correct question, or formulate the right problem, diba? Actually, guys, this has been the common difficulty among researchers, particularly yung mga first time researchers, yung difficulty of formulating questions, because at some point we formulate questions that are not relevant to what we want to achieve, that are not relevant to our goal. Sabi nga ni Mr. Barrientos, hindi siya nagko-coincide with our title, with our variables, di ba, yung mga ganon. And if ganon yung pag-formulate natin, of course, we cannot really derive with the correct outcome, kasi iba-iba yung goal natin. So to our 11 and 12 students, again, before proceeding or before submitting yourself to the proposal defense, please make sure that your questions are really aligned. Yung mga questions nyo are dapat, your questions must coincide to one another or to each other, para at least hindi tayo magda-divert ng ways, o daang matuwid ba yan, daang kaliwa o kanan ba yan, diba? So we really have to make sure that our problems are aligned, diba? Kasi sabi ni Mr. Barrientos, hindi talaga natin ma-achieve yung gusto nating ma-achieve if hindi maayos yung pag-formulate natin ng ating questions, ng ating problem. And that's really a very good point, because parang siya yung nagiging basis natin when doing our data gathering, when doing our, in the flow of the research, parang doon natin binabasa din at some point. So that's really a very good point, Mr. Barrientos, and that is really a very good experience na shinare mo to our students. Ability to formulate the correct answer. The correct answer na lang tuloy, the correct problem or the correct question. Ganun. So yon. Now let's wala na naman si Mr. Hamja. Siya talaga ngayon answer lahat ng mga tanong dito. Wala pa rin siya. Oo, sige. So now let's hear from Miss Napii kung ano ba yung pinaka-importanteng bagay or skill na natutuhan niya in doing research. Yes, Miss Napii.
Okay, so for me, I have siguro top 3. Gusto ko siya yung top 3 kasi ito yung pinaka highlights talaga of all the learnings I have in doing research. So first of all, dahil nasa context na rin tayo ng love life, so time management. Time management is very important kasi parang kanina napansin ko puro ang daming mga banat na tungkol sa love, ganyan. Okay, so ito, bigla ko nagka-realization about time management. Kasi you have to remember, of course, we are all students. We are students doing research. So it's not the only thing that we are doing, of course, because you have to study also for other subjects. So sobrang challenging ng research for students, I can say. Kasi you are given a specific time frame lang eh. When do you start it and when do you have to finish a full-blown research? So with that, kailangan hindi ka pwedeng gumawa ng research na sobrang magiging time-consuming, na wala ka ng oras for other subjects. Kasi you have to remember, again, student ka, marami ka pang other academic responsibilities also that you have to fulfill. So sobrang importante na marunong kang mag-manage ng time mo so that you will not cram your research paper. Kasi a crammed research paper, pagdating sa defense, parang marirealize mo, ang dami pala namin hindi na pag-usapan, ang dami palang parang holes ng research namin na parang we don't know how to answer it kasi sobrang cramped, sobrang mabilisan lang siya. Ginawa mo lang siya ng para lang umabot ka sa deadline. So, and then at the same time, when you have proper time management, you will not have any problems. It will not be in conflict with your academic responsibilities. So, hindi ka mas mahirapan kasi kapag masyado mong binuhos yung oras mo sa let's say, for example, puro research ka lang, nakalimutan mo ng mag-aral for other things, diba? So parang conflict pa yun, another problem pa yun sa'yo. It will be difficult for you to focus pa kapag wala kang time management. Or, for example, especially ngayon, online class, we are still doing research naman kahit online class lang tayo. So sa bahay, pag masyado ka lang nag-focus sa kaka-Netflix or kaka-chat sa crush mo, diba? Paano na yung research mo? So proper time management is very important. And then second is critical thinking talaga. Critical thinking skills. Ito yung lagi kong naririnig dati sa mga learning objectives to develop critical thinking skills. Pero hindi ko talaga siya mag-gets. What is critical thinking skills ba? Ano ba yung benefit niya sa akin as a student? Ganon. But then, along the way, nung third time ko nang maka-create ng research, dun ko na-realize, okay, so this is what critical thinking is. It's your ability to think outside the box, outside of your formed or full-blown paper. Kasi there will always be questions na hindi mo makahanap ang sagot doon sa research. So, it's your critical thinking. It's how you see, it's how you view, or how you present your research. When you have the proper critical thinking skills, you will not have any problems in answering whatever the panel will ask you about your research. And then lastly is proper citation. Proper citation talaga. So yung APA or Chicago style citation, however you want to cite sources in your research. Kasi sometimes we write our researches, like for example, in introductions, when we write it, we are usually influenced kasi by what we read, with what we have read the last time. So parang minsan nare-rephrase natin sa pagsusulat natin. So it's very important na kung alam mo sa sarili mo na hindi mo 100% original idea yung sinusulat mo sa research mo, always cite it. Always give the proper credits sa taong sa idea kasi it's not your original idea. And you are doing a research. So parang ang dami ng similar kasi the research field, it's very very wide. Ang dami lang connected lang sa isa't isa yung mga researches. Ang daming similarities with each other. So hindi ka pwedeng mag-present ng research mo as if you are owning everything. Kasi of course kaya ka nga nag-research, diba? You read your past researches, and then you try to do your own in your own way, in your own unique way. But at the same time, some of it is still influenced by what you have read before. Kaya importante talaga ang citation. Always talaga citation in any part of your research. So yun, that's the important things or skills for me.
Yes. So yun, meron si Miss na P ng top 3, diba? Si Miss USA, Miss ganun. Kidding aside, okay? So we have time management. Yeah, that is very important because that is one of the important skills that you have to give importance because again, remember, sabi nga ni Miss Api, you are students and you have various subjects na tinitake nyo per quarter, diba? So you have to give the same attention, you have to give the same love among all your subjects. Kasi hindi lang dapat sa research lang kayo magfo-focus and the rest of the subjects ay bahala ese because I have research. So you really have to balance your time, diba? If you balance time not just in your curricular but also you can also include extracurricular activities then. Okay, hindi lang puro research, hindi lang puro academic subjects, no, para at least maging manormalize din yung natin, yung mga galaw-galaw natin. You can also include extracurricular activities. So that's it. Ito yung isa sa mga bagay na pwede nating matutuhan when we are doing research, how to balance our time. Yun. And also sabi nga ni Ms. ng PE din yung critical thinking, 'di ba? Ito yung sinasabi natin earlier before, 'di ba? Yung critical thinking skills natin. Isa din talaga 'yan sa mga skills na pwede nating i-learn or pwede nating i-develop when we are doing research. And of course, the last one, yung cite, giving credits or giving credits to other authors, giving or acknowledging the works of other authors na inspire tayo na may contribution to our research paper. And this is also one of the ito yung na-encounter din paminsan ng mga researchers in which masyado na silang excited, masyadong, alam mo yung excitement nila is nasa taas na ng level, na in which na nakakalimutan na nilang i-cite yung mga ideas na nakuha nila or nabasa nila sa iba, in which hindi na nila na-write yon through in-text citation, yung mga ganon. So, reminder to all our students here na do not really forget to cite authorities, to give the credits to the people na nag-influence or na naging part ng inyong paper. So, yun yung top 3 ni Miss na PE. So, andito na si Mr. Hamja. Ayun. Mr. Hamja, hello. Pwede ka na ba naming marinig? Oo. Masyadong pa-mysterious din si Mr. Hamja, no? Ay, charot lang. Andito na ba? Okay na ba si Mr. Hamja? Parang wala pa ata si, ayun. So, mamaya ikaw lahat, Mr. Adi, ha? Oo. So, we still have 3 more questions. I still have 3 more questions, guys. But yung 4th and 5th questions, gusto ko siyang ipagsabay. O kasi parang lang siya, correlated sila to each other. So, ito na. So, again, guys, in general, the most important thing or skills na pwede nating matutuhan in doing research are critical thinking skills, ability to analyze things, ability to manage our time properly, ability to give credits, okay, to rightful authors, to other people na nag-influence or who influence us in doing our paper, and of course yung isa? Nakalimutan ko tuloy. Time management, giving credits, and all of those things. And I think if you are done with your paper, yung grade 11 and 12 students natin, meron din kayong mga skills na you think ito yung pinaka-importante. But para sa ating speakers, yun yung pinaka-importante sa kanila. So yun, thank you so much for that. Ito, gusto ko pong isabay, i-correlate yung 4th and 5th questions po. So here it is. As researchers, okay, what are the different challenges that you have experienced when you are presenting your proposal in front of the class, panelists, or crowd, and how did you overcome those challenges? Yun. So again, what are the different challenges that you have experienced when you presented your proposal, paper, project in front of the class or panelists or crowd, and how did you overcome it? Kasi this question is really important among our students because they will be having their proposal defense next week. So yon, gusto nilang marinig kung ano-ano ba yung mga posibleng maging challenges nila when they will be submitting themselves for the defense, and ano yung pwede nilang gawin in order to overcome those. Sige daw, andito na ba si Hamja, Mr. Hamja, para siya yung mauuna. Sir Dane, andito na po ba si Mr. Hamja? Nakikita ko na siya sa screen, but I don't know if okay na ba yung niya. Parang wala pa, no? Walang response.
I think he's here. I don't know. Baka,
he's here.
Baka Adi is here already.
Okay. So, okay, sige. So, baka gusto ni Mr. Hamja yung last but not the least. Ayun. Pa-mysterious talaga si Mr. Hamja, no? Sige. O, yung mga iba dyan, inaantay si Mr. Hamja. Wait lang talaga tayo, guys. Baka mamaya sa next question, andyan na si Mr. Hamja. So, yeah, yun po. My dear ates and kuyas, okay, what are the challenges and how did you overcome all of those? Sino yung mauuna? Balik ba tayo kay Mr. Barrientos? Ayun, kasi siya yung nauna kanina. Sige, Mr. Barrientos, your floor.
So, way back before, one of the hardest things for, personally me to do when proposing your papers or essentially during defense is speaking talaga. So, ano ba yan? I really do not like talking kasi talaga, in general, di man sa shy, pero I prefer not to say things unless kausapin ako ganyan. So, when I stood in front of the panel before, It was really nerve-wracking. And then, kinakabahan ako. Utak ko, ano-anong questions na pumapasok. Like, ano kaya itatanong sa amin ng panelists, ganyan. My God, nag-aral na ba ako enough? So those were the things that I was really afraid of before. And because of those things, I tend to overthink. Then in the long run, um, what's the term? Mental block ako. So hindi ako nakakapag-answer ng maayos. Hindi ko nasasabi anong gusto ko sabihin sa panelist. So yun, that was essentially one of the biggest challenge as I faced before in terms of presenting your papers. Then I guess what I did was I told myself, well, I convinced myself to stop overthinking things kasi syempre, like the first and foremost thing na gagawin mo pag magpe-present ka is of course you have to study your own paper. Then just by that, parang, ano ba yun siya, you have to have confidence in your own work. And of course, as what Ate Shaira said earlier, you also have to have confidence in the work of others na you incorporated in your own work. So, like parang ganun lang. Essentially, pag you have to study, you have to have confidence sa own work mo. Then, pagdating naman sa harapan ng panelist, parang don't try to think what they're going to ask you. Kasi essentially, they're just going to ask things na nandyan na sa paper mo daan. So as long as you have read your paper, it's going to be all right naman din. They won't ask you things na, like, for example, bakit? Sino ba yung proponent ng RRL mo? Kailan birthday niya? Hindi yan sila magganyan guys. Okay, matakot. They won't ask things na aren't present in your paper. So that's one, you have to study. Then the next thing is, I don't think this is something that you can learn like just with one defense. But since mahaba pang academic journey nyo, may college kayo, ganyan. Some of you might even study beyond college. So parang, I guess the next thing was I studied how to carry myself I studied how to look confident in front of our panelists. So, di naman yan mawala talaga entirely ang nervousness mo pag mag-represent ka. Kasi syempre may grado din yung kapalit. So, yeah, nerve-wracking siya. Pero, you just have to, breathe, proper inhale, exhale, ganyan. You just have to breathe, then remind yourself na hindi ka mag-isa sa presentation. Nandyan, friend, ang research buddies mo, your group mates essentially are there with you in front of the panelists. So yeah, and lastly, I think for me is what's really important is that don't be afraid to admit na you don't know something. Kasi from what I've experienced from watching other groups defend their papers is that sometimes they're really afraid of admitting that they don't know the answer to certain questions. And so, like, na-try lang i-answer, then it just ends up making themselves, what's the kind term for that? Like, I don't think I have that kind of term for that, but essentially, parang nagiging desperate, kumbaga. So, yun, if you don't know something, just tell the panelists na my apologies, ma'am, sir, I do not have the answer to your question. Or malay mo, ang group mates mo, may sagot sila. So, don't be afraid to relinquish the floor to them kasi syempre, hindi lang naman ikaw ang dapat mag-present ka. So, if you don't know something, ask your team, your research buddies kung alam ba nila. And if luckily they know, let them take the floor. Let them answer the question. So, yun.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Barriento. So I believe ito talaga yung number one na naging challenge ng na nagiging nagiging challenge ng mga presenters, particularly sa pagdi-defense, is yung anxiety attack. Di ba yung parang, hala, tanerbeged you, hala, tapede ubid dakin, bagali kil stay abay mga gano'n. Yung parang, huy, chill muna, chill, di ba? To the grade 11 and grade 12 students, sabi nga ni Mr. Barrientos, kapag na-experience nyo na yung anxiety, yung parang ninenervyos na kayo, just think na binasa ko ang paper ko, just think na alam ko kung ano yung nakasulat sa paper na to, and masasagot ko yung mga questions ng mga panelista. Because if you overthink things, if you try to think yung mga possible questions na pwedeng ibato sa inyo ng mga panelista, well, definitely mawawala talaga kayo and manenervyos kayo. So, gaya nga sabi ni Mr. Barrientos, you have to be confident, you have to, to motivate yourself na nabasa ko to, na alam ko to. And dapat gawin din ninyo, di ba? Hindi pwede na isipin nyo lang, ay, nabasa ko to, ay, alam ko to, pero hindi nyo naman nabasa. So, paano yon? Okay, di ba? So, dapat, iset nyo yung mood nyo, iset yung mind nyo sa ganung bagay, but make sure na ginawa ninyo. Yun. Kasi sometimes, nawawala tayo because of our nervousness. And sabi rin ni Mr. Barrientos, do not be afraid to say na hindi ko to alam, ma'am, sa mga panelista, or di ko to alam, sir, sa mga panelista. Because there are times na na-overlook natin yung mga information written in our paper. There are times na nakalimutan natin perhaps, di ba? Pero do not always say na in every question, ma'am, hindi ko man yan alam. Ma'am, ano ba yan? Yung mga ganun. So that is a no-no. Kasi ano na lang sabihin ng mga panelista, di ba? Hindi mo talaga alam ang paper nyo. So perhaps at some point, you can admit na hindi ko alam, pero not always, not in every question. Kasi abel panelista, naku, saya man lang kita kiase-ara, yung mga ganun, di ba? So as much as possible, before submitting yourself to a proposal defense or to any defense regarding research, okay, you really have to read, analyze, comprehend whatever you have written in your paper. Kung yun yung ginawa ninyo, then definitely your presentation will be smooth and flawless. Yon. So yeah, what other challenges and what did you do sa ating dalawang, wala pa talaga si Mr. Hamja, no? Wala pa talaga siya. Sige, second na lang natin si Miss na PE, and then last ulit si Miss Kabi.
Okay, so I think similar din talaga. First ever challenge for any researcher sa defense proposal is ganun talaga, similar to what to everything Alexis have said. Talagang it's difficult to keep your composure, especially if it's your first time proposing your research. And then you have this in mind na parang proposal lang kasi siya eh. There's always a chance that it could be rejected. So you have to start all over again. So doon ka talaga matatakot kasi parang ang haba na nang napuntahan ko, ang dami-dami ko ng time na naibigay, effort, tapos hindi sure if tatanggapin ba tong idea na to, ganun. Kaya siya proposal defense, diba? But at the same time, you have to defend. Why did you do that ba? Bakit ba ito yung research mo? So kailangan mo rin ipaglaban. So it pays really to be familiar with your research. And yung nervousness that you feel before starting your defense in front of your panelists, always try your best to turn it into something positive. So hindi naman pwedeng sobrang confident kasi sobrang confident mo, hindi mo na lang iniisip kung ano yung mga possible na hindi ka na nag-aral. So it's really fine and it's really valid to be nervous the very first time. But do not let that nervousness eat you up when you do or when you present your research. And another challenge for me talaga is, usually kasi even back in senior high and now in college, we do researches as a team talaga. So hindi talaga yung ikaw lang mag-isa sa research mo. So, nagiging challenge yung team in terms of teamwork, in terms of team cooperation. Kasi hindi talaga maiiwasan yung siguro may mga teammates ka na hindi ganun ka-attentive sa research nyo. Buti nga walang ngayon, face-to-face. Kasi pag face-to-face, meron talagang yung joke, as they say, punchline na kapag merong isang member na tagaluto lang ng pansit canton kapag sa face-to-face. Buti na lang online lang, di ba? So, challenge kasi siya for me kasi it's really difficult kapag pagdating ng defense proposal. May mga panelists talaga na ayaw nilang isang tao lang yung sagot ng sagot. So they will really try to test each one of the members. So this is a challenge to all of you. Be a good member in your research. Be attentive. Try to always understand what your research is all about. So it means dapat from the very first time na pumili kayo ng title ng research nyo, dapat mutually agreed yon ng buong group para alam nyo talaga. So until the process, until you finish your entire research. Kasi pagdating mo doon sa defense, pag yung isang member lang, kunwari, nag-set kayo ng leader, pag yung leader lang yung sagot ng sagot, talagang makahalata ng panel yan. And talagang tatawagin niya, okay, I want this certain person to answer my question. Tapos ikaw yon. And then hindi mo naaral ng maayos. Hindi mo alam kasi hindi mo naman part yun. Diba? Kasi usually kapag teamwork, parang naghahatian kayo, anong parts yung gagawin ko. Tapos hindi mo alam kasi hindi mo part yun. So parang, how will you answer it? Hindi ka pwedeng tulungan. Kasi nga, sabi ng panel, ikaw dapat yung sumagot. So sa ganon, whenever we do team research, what we always try to practice is, yes, hahatiin natin yung parts para mas mabilis, para mas madali, but every time before we start a certain chapter, we have to meet as a group and we have to brainstorm, what are we going to put here? What is this specific part in the research? Ano ba dapat? Ano ba yung mga gusto nating ilagay, isali dito? And then that member na assigned sa specific na part na yun or chapter na yun. So siya lang yung parang magfo-formulate talaga into a paragraph, into a sentence. And then kapag naman before the defense, so ito parang tips and tricks lang siya din with that specific challenge that I have mentioned. Before you do the proposal or the defense, you have to meet as a group and sino yung gumawa ng certain part, parang we ask that person, please teach us. Ano ba yung naging idea mo? Why did you come up with this specific paragraph? Why did you come up with these specific sentences? And then at the end of that meeting, we also brainstorm as a group. Ano ba yung possible na questions na itatapon para dito sa ginawa mo? Ano ba yung pwede kayong nating, ano kayo pwede? Tapos how are we going to answer that? So sa ganon, at least lahat kayo fair. Alam nyo talaga each one. So yun, in a nutshell, yun na talaga. Always make sure that you are attentive. Always make sure that you are cooperative as a member of your research group. Because remember, nandun isa yung pangalan mo sa mga authors ng research na yun. So hindi naman pwedeng sobrang chill ka and then you just take the credit even if you did not give so much effort to the research. That's all.
Yun. Sige. Yeah, thank you so much for that, Miss Napi. Later na lang ako mag-comment din doon. Let's hear from Miss Kabig.
Ano ba? Yung sa akin po siguro combination ng kay Sir Alexis and kay Miss Napi. Magkaiba lang siya sa environment siguro kasi nung junior high school, face to face pa noon, I tried to i-carry yung research ng ako lang mag-isa. Kasi nung time na yon ako lang may access sa internet and parang ako lang mostly nakakaintindi ng research namin. So nung time na biglaan kasi siya. Hindi siya, unannounced siya na parang tinanong ako ng teacher nun about dun sa gusto naming i-pitch in na mga research. Bali tatlo yun. Tapos lahat ng tatlo na yun, ako lang halos nakakaingot. Tapos yun nga yung isa sa mga isang comment nun, hindi talaga mawawala sa akin yun. Yung sabi ni ma'am na huwag mong susubukan kargahin yung research mo mag-isa ka lang. Kasi kaya ko kayo nilagay sa grupo is parang magtulungan kayo. Hindi ka mag-isang gagalaw sa research na yan. So, hahatiin nyo yung task, pero dapat lahat kayo naiintindihan yung ginagawa nyo o yung laman ng research nyo. And nung naman po, nung nag-senior high ako, masyado ko atang na yung advice na yun ng teacher ko. Dumating sa point na parang nag-relax ako masyado. Kasi ang kasama ko pa noon nata sina Kisha, sina James na mas ano sa akin, mas active siguro sa class, mas mahilig magsalita and mag-pitch in ng opinion. So, parang ako, ang iniisip ko noon ay I'll just go with the flow na lang siguro. Kung ano yung papagawin sa akin, yun lang yung gagawin ko. Pero, nung nag-start na yun kay Sir Daniel, nag ano ng mga questions. Medyo nagtulakan pa kami kung sinong sasagot kasi parang pare-pareho kaming alam mo yun parang hindi alam kung saan papunta yung research. Kasi nagkaroon ng lack of coordination. Parang nahirapan din ako i-imply yung sabi ng teacher ko dati doon sa grupo namin na yun. Kasi I was a bit intimidated din siguro. Nahiya akong i-express yung mga thoughts ko na kahit may napapansin na akong medyo kulang or eto maaaring itanong, nahiya akong sabihin niya. Siguro yun yung kulang, isa sa mga challenges din talaga. Pagka-college naman, nung nag-start kami dito sa Mapua, nagkaroon kami ng proposal, siguro second term ng first year namin nun. Nagkaroon kami sa isang minor subject. Napakabilis lang na research. Ini-expect ng prof na matatapos a week. So, yun din, same situation, lack of coordination. Kaya nung nag-start na yung questioning, tulakan talaga makikita mo yun sa GC. Hindi mo maiwasan yan, especially online eh. Hindi naman mapapansin ng prof na nag-uusap kayo sa GCs nyo. So, sa GC pa lang nagtutulakan na kami kung sinong sasagot. Eh, madalas ako yung natutulak. So, yung isang research topic or isang research na concept na pinipitch namin, hindi ko alam. Tapos, nasakto na sa akin yun. Eh, meron akong attitude na parang take it until you make it. May ganun akong mindset eh. So, sinasagot ko yung question. Yung sagot ko, medyo off talaga siya sa kung ano yung ina-expect ng prof galing sa akin. Kasi yung mga professors namin, medyo ano sila. Advance sila sa amin kasi in a way na kunyari pa bago kami mag-present, kilalan talaga nila yung research namin kasi yung school namin exposed na siya sa online learning even before pa talaga, way back pa. May mga online classes na talaga. So, alam na nila, gamay na nila yung environment. Gamay na nila yung attitude ng students sa harap ng screen. And kilala na talaga nila yung mga movements namin. So, alam nila kung sino yung kabado, sino yung hindi nakakaintindi or hindi nakikinig during the discussions ng group na yan. So, sa mga challenges na yun, I learned na take time talaga to coordinate with your group. So, nung nag-second year ako, doon ko, sa mga past experiences na yun, doon ko implement siguro yung mga learnings. Before ng proposals namin, meron talaga kaming schedule every day yan. Meron kaming schedule or saan nakuha, tapos ano yung thought, tapos prior din sa meeting, pinipaste talaga namin nilalagay namin sa GC yung mga articles na nabasa namin, pati yung mga thoughts para ma-review ng mga groupmates namin. Para hindi lang ikaw yung nakakaintindi, kundi pati sila. Para pag tinanong, at least prepared lahat. Pagkatapos, meron talaga kaming mga tawag nila yung mga practice na presentation. Ngayon ko lang na-experience yun actually, na parang nag-i-invite talaga kami ng students from the other sections or meron din kaming mababait na professors na pumapayag na makisama doon sa meeting tapos nag-a-ask din talaga ng questions. So, pag nagpe-present na kami, medyo confident na kami kasi alam na namin kung ano yung i-expect namin ng mga questions. Tapos, siguro, kanina ko pa sinasabi na kilalanin niyo yung research nyo. Kasi doon ko talaga na-realize na pag kilala alam mo yung research mo or alam mo yung lalo na pag iisipin mo yung mga tanong naman nila sa'yo is yung mga hindi, I mean, for example, sa scientific research, yung mga nagtatanong sa iisipin mo, mga kaibigan mo lang na hindi nila naiintindihan din yung pasikot ng research mo. So, mga curious person lang na gustong maintindihan at ang gagawin mo lang is ipaintindi mo. Kasi yun naman yung purpose ng research natin yung research natin maintindihan ng ibang tao at may matutunan sila galing sa research na yun. Yun po.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much for that, Miss Kabig. So I guess pwede na, dito na ba si Sir na lang, Mr. Hamja?
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry.
Uy, ayun. Good afternoon, Mr. Hamja.
Good afternoon.
Finally.
I cannot open my kasi ma'am, my camera kaya
It's
there's a
alright.
problem kasi with my internet connectivity.
Okay, it's alright. So what can you say about this question, Mr. Hamja? What were the challenges? Diba? You have experience. And how did you
Yes,
overcome those?
most of my experiences kasi solo talaga ako eh. Solo ako sa pag-present ng papers ko. And same ang I mean yung challenge namin ni Sir Alexis. Kasi nga when I am presenting talaga, hindi talaga mawawala sa feeling yung pagiging nervyoso. And when I get too nervous talaga, I really lost focus. Di ko talaga alam anong sabihin ko. And I tried to overcome it sa mga conferences na attendan ko. Like I want to overcome this being so nervous talaga. And solution ko doon is that I really mastered my my paper. Tapos nagtatanong ako sa mga mentors ko, especially Sir Daniel. He really knows talaga, and he became a huge part on my career sa research writing. And siguro what can I advise to the students is that master talaga your paper. You should really master it. Kahit yung sulok na ng paper mo, you should really know it talaga. And then help each other's weaknesses kasi since grupo man kayo, syempre hindi lahat, not every one of you has the interest on your title. Hindi yan lahat na gusto niyo yung title niyo. Well, yun na nga. If you're aiming that your research proposal to be accepted, you should help each other's weaknesses lang. And master talaga your research. Yun lang po, ma'am.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Hamja. So I'd like to pose this last question to you guys. Okay, dadako na po tayo sa ating last question. And ayun, naka-flash na ba? Ayun. So, as a Claretian researchers, okay, what tips or advice can you give to neophyte or high school researchers that would help them during presentations? So any tips, guys, that you would like to share, that you would like to advise to our to your co-researchers? Sige. So anyone can just hindi, si Adi na lang, 'di ba? Si Mr. Hamja na lang ang first. Oo, first to give the advice. Sige.
Hello.
Mr. Hamja, yes. Diba?
Audible
Your
ako, ma'am.
turn. Ikaw naman ngayon ang top 1.
So my advice to you guys. Yes, ma'am. Sorry kasi it was I had a problem kasi with the internet. So my advice to you guys is that when you are presenting your research talaga, should really master kasi ito yung big factor talaga malaking factor talaga kung alam mo talaga yung proposal mo and you can really defend it. Well, yung sa case na pagiging nervyoso, yun na nga, you just think of it na kaibigan mo lang yung mga panelists. Kasi if you think, sometimes kasi nakadepende to sa mentality natin eh. Nakadepende sa pag-approach natin sa mga panelists. Pag yung approach natin sa panelists is that, baka ganito, ganyan. Parang, alam mo yun, yung kinakain ka ng mga iniisip mo na which is hindi naman dapat. Kaya dapat tayo, when we face the panelists, you should be confident pero not too confident. And then, yun na nga, paulit-ulit ko talaga sabihin guys, kasi yung mastery of your proposal talaga, yan ay isang malaking factor talaga yan para alam mo yung masagot niyo yung mga tanong ng panelist. And then, yun na nga, yun lang ma'am, yun lang yung masabi ko ma'am.
Okay, so yun. What else from other speakers? Ano po?
Sige, ako na lang muna. I will take the turn po, ma'am. Hello? Am I audible ba?
Yes, Miss
Okay.
P, you're audible.
Medyo lag kasi sa akin yung video, so I thought may problema ata talaga lahat tayo with the internet connection.
PLDT ba?
Okay. So since this is the last question na I totally agree talaga with what Mr. Ham just said. So yun naman talaga dapat ang first, with coming up with your presentation for the research. Just always familiarize it. It's very important that you really know your research by heart. And then second is that this advice is when you are doing your research when you are in the process. Kasi I know not everyone kasi is really interested with the field of research. Not everyone can appreciate it, ganyan. Baka kasi iba-iba din naman talaga tayo ng interest or ano. Kaya nga, every time there is a research, it's really nice if you go with a research that is similar to what you are passionate about or to what you're interested about. Kasi kapag interesado ka sa isang bagay, kahit mahirap, you will still do it. Kahit nahihirapan ka, you will still be able to push through with your research. And then another is that it's always important to know why you are doing your research. It's always important to have a mindset na hindi ka gumagawa ng research for the sake of just complying because it is a subject that you need to pass in order to go to grade 12 or in order to graduate from senior high ba, for example. So please do not have that kind of mindset. Always have a mindset na you are doing research because you want to unlock more ideas, you want to investigate more, you want to prove something, and you want to contribute a knowledge that will be useful to other people. Yung ganong mindset dapat yung meron kayo all the time kasi it will really help you come up with a very beautifully written research, kumbaga. And lastly, since parang bumabanat naman tayo all the time about love, ganyan. So this last advice is that whenever you find yourself like you want to give up on your research or you just want to take it for granted, always remember na yes, masarap ma-mention ng crush mo sa social media, masarap ma-mention ng crush mo sa Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, pero mas masarap sa feeling na makita ang pangalan mo sa citation ng research ng ibang tao. So that's it. So always remember that. Yun lang. That's it on my part.
Yes, thank you so much for that, Ms. Napi. Now let's hear from Ms. Kabig. Yeah, any tips or advice?
Tips or advice? Siguro nasabi na ni Adi yung sinasabi so kanina na kilalanin mo talaga yung research mo nga kaya mong kilalanin, ano na lang yung research mo nasa iyo, di ba? Ikaw ang unang nakakaalam niyan. So, dapat mas kilala mo yung research mo kaysa sa crush mo. Wala kang mapapala sa crush mo, sasaktan ka lang yan. Char! Para kung walang love life na to. So, ayun. So, kung nandun ka na sa stage na yon, kilala mo na yung research mo. And siguro given na before the presentation is makikilala mo yung mga panelists mo. Isipin mo lang na yung mga magtatanong sa'yo, nakakasama mo na sila sa classes mo. Like, sina Ma'am Ruth, sina Sir Dane, or yung ibang mga teachers na dati, akala ko talaga dati nakakatakot. Pero nung siguro nag-start kami sa presentations namin, mapait naman sila magtanong, guys. Di naman sila nangangain ng tao. Si Ma'am Ruth, weather. Minsan nakasmile. Minsan seryoso. Depende siguro sa research. Hindi ko sila maintindihan minsan. Pero isipin mo lang, nandiyan naman sila. Siguro nagtatanong sila para i-improve din yung research mo. Para matulungan ka na mas maintindihan yung research mo. Siguro nga minsan nagtatanong sila na paulit-ulit na lang. Like, kunyari, ano ba talaga goal ng research mo? Or bakit ito yung gagawin nyo? Siguro mas gusto lang nilang marinig sa'yo, galing sa inyo mismo, na naiintindihan niyo yung ginagawa niyo. Alam niyo kung saan patungo yung ginagawa niyo. Kaya sila nagtatanong. So, huwag kayong matakot sa kanila, guys. Mabait naman yan. Sa face experience ko, mabait naman sila. And, ano pa ba? Ginagawa namin to ni Nisan nung before kami mag-present diyan sa kasama ko sa Claret. A day before the presentation siguro, relax na lang kaming dalawa. Pati, especially hours before the presentation, nagre-relax lang kami. More on nakikipag-usap kami sa ibang tao, hindi namin ina-isolate yung sarili namin na parang magpa-practice tayo, practice lang hanggang sa mag-present na tayo. Hindi ganoon yung ginawa namin. Mas nag-focus kami sa pagre-relax ng sarili. Kasi para pagpasok mo, o nasa harap ka na ng mga magtatanong sa'yo, kasi pag mas relax ka, mas nakakapag-isip ka ng maayos eh. Hindi ka nararatel, hindi crowded yung mind mo. Kasi pag nagna-mental block ka, doon na nagsisimula lahat na parang hindi mo na alam yung sinasabi mo or you're just using the method na yung sinasabi ko kanina na fake it until you make it. Never use that method. Ikababagsak lang yan ng research nyo. Kaya ang sasabihin nyo lang talaga is yung kung ano naiintindihan nyo and kung ano lang mismo ang laman ng research nyo. For as long as alam nyo, most probably 3 points na kayo sa kanila. Yun po.
Yun. Sige. Thank you so much for that, Miss Cabig. Now let's hear from Mr. Barrientos. I'm sorry. Mr. Barrientos.
So, I think halos nasabi naman ata nila lahat. Well, yun nga, I think I completely agree with the points made by the previous speakers. Tapos yun, I think one of, like, number one enemy talaga ng presenters during their presentations is yun ba, yung takot nila na baka ipangsak sila ng panelists. So just always remember guys, na those panelists are there to ask questions. They're not there to fail you or kainin kayo or anything else. So just breathe, Huwag niyong isipin na, ala, baka pag mali, masabi ko, babagsak ako ni ma'am, wala, patay. Narinig ko sa kabilang section na babagsak mo ko. So, no, that's really not the case talaga when it comes to presentations. They're just there to ask queries, things na, like what was stated earlier, they're just basically your friends asking things na they didn't quite comprehend sa pagbasa nila. Or, they just want to see kung kayo ba yourself alam nyo. Then, I think lastly, for me, is just be open. So, these are research proposals, ganyan. So, parang, huwag kayong matakot na, I guess, hindi ma-approve ang title nyo. Kasi, aside from the fear of your panelists, nandyan din yung anxiety na wala baka hindi tanggapin paper namin. So just leave that out of your like your state of mind during presentation kasi the moment mag-start kayong matakot na baka hindi matanggap presentation nyo, ang proposal nyo rather. So everything else would start to fall apart. Mental block kayo, ganyan. And yeah, like before kayo mag-present, always make sure na kayo as a group, you guys already talk to each other, ganyan. Uh, Nag-usap kayo about things na hindi nyo naintindihan, ganyan, clarify things. Then yun, I guess that's all the advice I can give.
Okay, so yeah, yun guys. So those advices, those tips will be very beneficial to all of us, especially when we submit ourselves for presentation, for proposal, for final presentation of our research paper. I hope that you will really consider kung ano yung sinabi ng ating mga speakers in terms of presenting our paper, our research paper to be exact. So thank you so much, everyone. I mean, to our speakers, thank you so much for sharing your experiences, for sharing your expertise, and all of those things that we have discussed this afternoon. I believe and surely it will greatly benefit para sa maging presentation ng aming grade 11 and grade 12 students next week. So I am now giving the floor to our MC. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Ayan, so I'm sorry for the delay kasi I was having a hard time on unmuting my microphone, no? So thank you so much, Ma'am Ruth Iturralde, and thank you also to our discussants, Ate and Kuya Alexis, Ate Shaira, Ate, so, wait, Ate Natalie, and Kuya Adi Hamja. And now we are going to proceed to our open forum. So sa open forum na to, the discussants and the Claret research team are going to entertain some questions from the participants, if ever may tanong po sila. So you may unmute your microphone, but before speaking, please introduce yourself first, no? But if you are not comfortable sa pag-unmute ng microphone, you can use our meeting chat, no, to address our questions or queries about the on how to deliver a research proposal or anything about research. So yes, that's it. Ayan, antay-antay muna tayo ng tanong. So, we are currently waiting for the participants kung may tanong po sila about sa topic earlier. As of now, wala pa pong nag-drop sa ating meeting chat. Ayan. So may nag-raise po ng hand. Oh, meron din po nagtanong sa ating meeting chat, no? From Karagdag CJ. So ang tanong niya po ay, wait a minute, how do you overcome the pressure? Yun po yung tanong niya. From our discussants or CRT, sino po ang willing sumagot? Ang tanong po ni CJ, how do you overcome the pressure? Pagdating siguro to sa research proposal.
Okay, I will answer na lang muna first siguro. So for me kasi, pressure is more of an internal battle that you have with yourself. So it's really about how you think and what you feel inside if you do your research proposal already. So for you to overcome the pressure, just always really train your mind to be strong before you come to your presentation. So basta lagi lang talaga, you always really stick to thinking that as long as I know what my research is all about, it's going to be okay. As long as I am familiar with what I am about to present, it's going to be okay. So ganun yung pressure. Don't think yung mga outer comments from people naman na who did not do your research. Don't listen to that first. So mag-focus ka lang muna talaga with training your mind to be strong and presenting yourself in a confident way once you face your panelists. So yun na talaga yung pressure. It's really about yourself. It's really you and yourself lang talaga.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ate Shaira, no, for your answer. So si Ma'am Daisy rin po. Hello, Ma'am Daisy. May tanong po ba kayo? Ma'am Daisy Natividad. I saw kasi nag-raise si Ma'am Daisy ng kanyang raise hand buttons. May tanong siguro si Ma'am. Ano? Okay. So, ayun, while waiting for Ma'am Daisy's question, I will entertain muna no, sa question ni Zafir. Ang tanong niya po ay, how many panelists will be there po? Siguro sa sa research proposal or defense po. Expected panelists po is yun. Ayun. So from our discussions, ilan po yung expected panelists daw po sa proposal or sa defense?
Hi, good afternoon, Jana.
Oh, yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, in behalf of the discussion that we have right now, for those who ask na how many panelists meron, for example, presentation, depende sa context. If you're talking about proposals, na depende sa context ng university or ng school. So, in our experience in the university, minimum of 3 panelists. Minimum of 3 panelists during the presentation. But if the context would be a conference or presentation, the panelists are the whole crowd is the panelists mismo. So expect that the panelists will be around 100 of them if you are going to present your paper in a conference. Yeah. So it depends on the context ng presentation. So if it's a school-based, most probably it's 3, 4. Pero pag it's an event, so everyone sa audience is yung panelist mismo. But there are also uh, evaluators who will be judging your presentation. So that's for my experience. I think Ma'am Eliza, I think may answer din siguro si Ma'am Eliza, one of the research mentors. And
Hello, Sir Dane. Hello, everyone. So can you hear me po?
Yes, Ma'am
Hello.
Eliza, we can hear
Okay,
you.
so hello everyone from the faculty room of Claret School of Zamboanga City. So excuse the background. For the number of panelists kasi, the ideal number really is 3. 3 po talaga yan ang minimum. Kasi this is to balance everything out. Kasi in my experience, when I was in junior high school in Regional Science High School, hindi talaga bumababa sa 3 yung panelists namin because each panel member will look into a different aspect of your paper, and yun yung minimum number. So katulad nga ng sabi ni Sir Daniel, there's a difference in terms of the context of where you're going to present your research. So sa school-based, the minimum number is 3 po. Yun, thank you.
Ayun. So, thank you so much, Sir Daniel and Ma'am Eliza, no, for your answer. And meron din po tayong tanong from Rina Den Hassan. So, ang tanong niya po ay, ano po ang ma-recommend nyo sa paggawa ng research proposal PowerPoint presentation? Ayun. From CRT or discussants? Ayun, si Ate Shaira may answer din po. May answer siya. Go on, Ate Shaira.
Okay, so as for experience, ever since senior high until sa university, always talagang advice sa amin ng research mentors namin is that do not make your PowerPoint very cartoonish, very sobrang maraming design. So yun talaga yung first when it comes to design. Always go for yung minimalist type or yung sobrang simple lang as much as possible. And then when you choose the colors, make sure that it's not too bright, hindi siya parang rainbow, ganyan na paiba-iba ng color. So as much as ganun man yung style nyo, but you're presenting, kasi remember, you're presenting a formal paper. So your PowerPoint should also be formal. So minimal designs, minimal elements, yung mga parang images, ganyan. Try to keep it at as minimal as possible. And then another, when it comes to the content itself, do not copy and paste your entire paragraphs into your PowerPoint. So make sure that you summarize your content. And I remember, I think it was Sir Daniel who taught us this one, yung senior high kami. Kapag sa PowerPoint kasi ng researches, I think bawat line is 7, I'm not sure, 5 to 7 words lang ba, bawat bullet points. So hindi pwedeng naka-sentence form siya as much as possible. Kasi hindi naman, I mean, nasa ano na may kopya na yung panelist nyo. May kopya na sila ng buong full-blown research nyo. So hindi nyo na kailangan ulitin pa, ipakita pa talaga yun sa PowerPoint ninyo. So ganun lang, your PowerPoint is only your guide for your presentation. It's only to tell kung nasaang part na ba kayo ng research, anong part na ba yung dinidiscuss ninyo. So it should not be too wordy, it should not be too decorative. And yung colors ng font and font styles also, it also matters. So kami, usually we just really follow the standard. So it's either Times New Roman or Calibri, ganyan. We don't really go for the calligraphy fonts, ganon. Tapos yung font size, standard lang talaga. Follow the standard font size also. Something that is readable, of course. Especially kapag you are presenting yung face-to-face, kasi syempre naka-flash yung PowerPoint ninyo eh. So make sure na madali siyang basahin. Hindi siya, not too small, not too big also. But even now for the online, kasi usually when we present online, di ba, nag-share screen lang tayo. It's still important na yung colors, they still matter. So kami talaga usually white background pa rin, and then yung text, it's black. Ganon.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ate Shaira, no? So noted po, I will also take down of what you have said, no, sa aming darating na research proposal. So may tanong pa po tayo dito from Rosel Santos. Hello po, is it okay to stutter if you don't know how to answer the question? Yun po yung tanong niya. From our CRT or discussants. Ang tanong niya po ay, is it okay daw po ba if to stutter, no, if hindi daw alam yung hindi nga alam kung paano niya sasagutin yung tanong, no, ng panelist. Okay, so we have Kuya Alexis to answer Rosel Santos' question. Go, Kuya Alexis.
Oh, hi, good afternoon. As for stuttering, personally, from my experience, both in senior high and right now in college, generally, it is okay for you to stutter if hindi mo masyadong alam paano i-formulate ang answer mo. But you always have to remember, and actually, this was an advice to us by our professor who was an attorney during our moot court na if you stutter more than twice na, then just take a deep breath, recompose yourself, isipin mo lang ano bang gusto mong sabihin, then subukan mo ulit. Yun. Kasi syempre we all stutter naman, di ba? Pag kinakabahan tayo, and there's really nothing we can do about it. Even veteran public speakers, sometimes they also stutter, especially if something catches them off guard. So just always remember na yun lang, hinga ka lang, then try to recompose yourself. If hindi talaga alam ano ang dapat isagot or paano isagot, you have your group mates. You can, if of course allowed by the panelists, you can ask them for help. So yeah, generally it's okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Kuya Alexis, no, sa answer mo regarding sa stuttering pag sinusubukan ng mga presenters sagutin ang mga tanong ng panelists sa kanila. So, I am going to call again Ma'am Daisy Natividad. I saw her kasi na she raised her hand. Ma'am Daisy, are you there? Hello, Ma'am Daisy. Good afternoon.
Hello, Miss Jana. Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
ma'am.
Kumusta? This is not a question, no, but I just would like to take this opportunity to, first and foremost, I would like to thank and congratulate all the CRT mentors, especially Sir Daniel, Ma'am Eliza, virtual clap, please, Ma'am Ruth, and Ma'am Donna, and also, of course, Sir Lexter, even if he is not with us anymore, for your great initiative, unwavering support, encouragement, and guidance you gave to our Claretian researchers. And today, I just realized how incredibly helpful and supportive you are, mentors, throughout this entire process by providing feedback at each stage of, the research and being approachable for questions. Thank you also for making the transition to an online research project and virtual research poster presentation fun and doable. So no doubt, diba, best poster, national award. And I can see that you challenge your students to excel, not because you want perfection, but because you know that they are capable of exceptional work. I am incredibly appreciative of your commitment to the growth of of our young researchers. For sure, our students and alumni's higher level of character developed because of your great teaching skills will remain as they pursue their future endeavors. To our invited discussants, our very own alumni, oh my God, you are unbelievably amazing, guys. Alexis, Adi, Nathalie, and Shira girl, hello. Congratulations. You really did an amazing job today. Thank you for sharing your learning experiences and for inspiring our senior high school students, junior high school students, and even us as educators. My warmest congratulations on your achievement. I am so proud of you to see you're accomplishing great things as Claretians in big universities and colleges. So advice ko lang din guys, no, since nag-end kayo kanina sa advice, yung mga discussants, yung advice ko din is always remember na ang pag-ibig ay parang research. Kailangan mong i-defend para ma-approve. Tama ba? Eh. So congratulations everyone. Thank you CRT mentors. Yun lang. Sorry, open forum to.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Daisy. Ayan. So, may tanong pa po dito sa ating meeting chat from wait a minute. From Roy Jethro Malayo. So, sabi niya po, no, based on your personal experiences, ma'am and sir, if you want to go back in time, what preparation should you wish to remind us to share with us towards achieving best proposals? Ayan. No? Ayun, anyone from our, ayun, si Ate Shaira, nag-raise na head. Go, Ate Shaira.
Okay. Siguro if I were to go back in time, I wish I paid more attention to our chapter 3, to our methodology. Kasi personally, I really don't like yung statistics, ganyan. I really don't like thinking about it. I'm not a fan of numbers. As you can see naman sa course ko, diba? So I tried my best to stay away from numbers, ganyan. So methodology kasi, diba, it's about analyzing, interpreting your data. And of course, pag interpret mo ng data, there will always be statistics, there will always be numbers. So during that time, I really, parang sinadya ko talagang hindi kunin yung chapter na yon. Ibang groupmate ko yung kumuha nun. So I wish, I paid more attention to that. I wish na mas naging attentive sana ako or somehow helped also with that. Kasi now that I'm doing research, and then pare-parehas kami hindi fan ng numbers given our course. So wala talaga kaming choice, especially now na we are doing also quantitative research. So pagdating sa methodology, sobrang nangangapa kami kasi we are studying every every data gathering tools na pwede namin gamitin for our research. Sobrang nangangapa talaga kami kasi nga when I was in senior high, wala talaga akong pakialam sa part na yon. So kaya yon lang. In general, that's really my advice. As much as possible, always try to study your research. Kasi you will really carry everything you have learned dito sa first time of doing your research until the time na you will be a professional.
So, yun, salamat Ate Shaira. Si Ate Natalie naman, may sagot rin po siya sa tanong, no? Okay, Ate Natalie, go on.
Hello? Hello?
Yes po, you are audible po, Ate.
Ayun. So, siguro, yung gusto ko lang balikan sa dati is yung habang nagpe-present, masyado kaming stiff dati eh. Kasi, yun nga nakakalimutan namin mag-relax. Pag stiff ka, nakakalimutan mo na siguro ngumiti. Although hindi naman siya, hindi naman required na ngumiti habang nagpe-present. Pero kasi yung ngiti alone, parang nadadala mo yung panelist mo pag nakangiti ka. So good mood yung panelist mo magtanong, medyo mas mabait sila sa'yo pag nasa ganun silang posisyon. Kaya siguro, yun yung nakalimutan ko ng dati, nung sa past presentations ko. Masyado kaming stiff, kaya pati yung mood ng panelist, medyo down. Kaya mas, din sila, mas naging intense yung mga tanungan kasi, yun nga, mas nahalata nila na kabado kami. Pag kabado ka, parang expect nila na, pero pag nakikita nilang maganda yung disposition mo, you are smiling, you're confident enough na yung yung appearance mo is confident ka, mas maganda din yung disposition ng panelist mo and mas magaan yung magiging flow ng presentation siguro. Yun po.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Ate Natalie. So before anything else, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Miss Joanne Bailon, the Claret School of Zamboanga City Batch 8 graduates. So finally sila sa DOST TAFI Region 9 or Regional Invention Contest and Exhibit. She's also known as the Outstanding College Student Creative Research. So, hello po, Miss Joanne Bailon. Ayan.
Hi, everyone.
So, hello po. Ayun. So, are there any questions? May katanungan pa po ba? Ayun, Sir Daniel, you are raising your hand po.
Yeah. Parang meron ata yung nag-message here about the proposal thingy. Baka they are wondering, since this activity of ours this afternoon is also in preparation for their proposal presentations next week, on November 25 to 27. So baka you are wondering if how would you create your PowerPoint presentations. I upload anong sinabi ni Ms. Shaira kanina and the rest of them, although in creating the PowerPoint presentation, always use the rule of sevens. 5 to 7 words in every line. Sometimes 7 lines maximum for every slide. And then, yun na nga, sabi ni Ms. Shaira kanina, and the rest, Adi, Alexis, and Natalie na, as much as possible, kung pwede, minimalist design. Yeah. Kasi para hindi siya medyo messy tingnan sa presentation. But don't worry, grade 11 and grade 12 students, CRT, the Claretiano research team mentors and members got their back because they have prepared a PowerPoint template exclusive for the virtual research proposal presentation. So we'll be giving to you the template. Your practical research instructors will send you the template of the PowerPoint. So minimalist design din talaga siya. I think yun lang ang masasabi ko for that. Thank you, Ms. Jana.
Okay, thank you rin po, Sir Daniel. I think wala na pong tanong. So, opo, wala na pong tanong. So, thank you so much sa ating discussants and to our Claret research team, our mentors, Sir Daniel Hernandez and Ma'am Eliza Sanchez. Ayun. Now, let us, so since the open forum is done, I am asking you to settle down yourselves as we proceed to reaction and synthesis that will be given by Miss Eliza Amor Sanchez, the lead qualitative researcher and a moderator of El Fuego Claretiano.
So hello everyone. Thank you, Jana. Can you hear me po?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank everyone, the participants, my co-mentors of the CRT, and also our administrators headed by our principal, Ma'am Daisy, for supporting us in the conduct of this event. And most especially, I'd like to thank our speakers, okay? You have really given a very substantial and comprehensive feedback and input regarding proposal defense and more, not just proposal defense and more. So allow me to um, react and synthesize to the panel discussion that happened earlier. So first of all, while listening to all of the things that you've said, I got a sort of flashback because syempre lahat naman tayo dumaan sa pagiging high school, and I was really um amazed by the level of um success and level of mastery and confidence that you have when you were in high school. And I wish that all high school students could also learn from you ba, and that they could also realize these things as they journey academically. Because right now kasi the reality is this is so sad kasi sometimes or most of the times ang nangyayari kasi ngayon, the students just look at a subject as a requirement to pass. And I'm really amazed by how you view the subjects that you have in high school, specifically this subject, research. I'm really surprised in a positive way that in your own pace and in your own way, you were able to love this subject that most of the students are really not into this subject. So thank you for that. Congratulations din. Okay. Thank you so much. So let me first repeat, or I don't know if it was already presented, but the objectives for this panel discussion. So the panel discussion on how to effectively pitch research proposals, a personal experience aims to engage, nurture, and develop academic and intellectual growth of students through research and innovations from the personal perspective of various researchers and writers. Specifically, this online activity aims to develop personal confidence in public speaking and presentations, improve critical thinking through Socratic question prompts, and engage actively in communication with other researchers, readers, and writers in the academe and industry. So I may not be able to see these objectives accomplished right away, but I really hope that our participants were able to get some important tips and notes from all of you guys, and that they will be able to apply this next week during their proposal defense. And so, with that in mind, I'd like to present a synthesis of what you've said to all of us, because even if I'm not a student, still I learned a lot from you, and thank you for that. So let me start the synthesis by saying that hindi lahat ng magagaling na tao nag-start as magaling. Okay, ang pagiging magaling ay natututuhan yan. So let's bear that in mind. So first, I have here 1, 2, 3, and 4 points to give to everyone in relation to what our discussants explained and shared to all of us. First, research is a skill, a collaborative activity, and an opportunity to learn independently. Second, research shows, unlocks, and unleashes something in you that you've never seen or felt before. Third, research also becomes a test of friendship, of mental and emotional strength, and of professional work ethics. And lastly, contrary to what other people say, research is essential for growth and development. And with that, I'd like to end that in everything that we do, we should always remember the greater purpose of it. And we should always look at our tasks not just as requirements, but something that can feed ourselves mentally, emotionally, professionally, and intellectually. And with that in mind, I'd like to wish you a good afternoon, and thank you so much, everyone. Congratulations and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am Ma'am Eliza Sanchez, no? So the activity is almost done, but before we will end this activity, no, I'm going to present to you the virtual certificates, no? Para naman i-acknowledge natin ang isa't isa, no, for their presence and for their effort, no, yung time na binigay nila para umattend sa webinar na to. So I would like to give the certificate of appreciation to Alexis John M. Barrientos for being a discussant during the panel discussion on how to effectively pitch research proposal, a personal experience. Ayan. Next. So also a certificate of appreciation to Ate Shaira R. Napii for being a discussant also during the panel discussion on how to effectively pitch their research proposal, a personal experience. And also, next, a certificate of appreciation to Nathalie Dane M. Kabig. And lastly, next please. To Ahmad Din O. Hamja for also being a discussant during the panel discussion. Okay, next please. Okay, I think that's it. So thank you so much to our discussant for this afternoon's webinar. Ayan. So para naman sa ating closing remarks, let me introduce to you. She is a collaborator from Tsunagi Research Project, a researcher from Mediation Research Group, and the editor-in-chief of El Fuego, Claretiano. Let us give Aubrey Ann Tubo a virtual round of applause.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Aubrey, you are audible.
Okay. I'm sorry I couldn't really open my camera because I'm only using my phone. So yeah, for the closing remarks, hi again. I know a lot of you are ecstatic to leave this meeting to take your snacks, sleep, do requirements, beba time, and other shenanigans that I don't know of. But let me first give my short closing remarks before we end this meeting. So first of all, I would like to thank anyone who attended this discussion. I know it's said to be required, but still, thank you for adhering to this requirement and be here with us learning. Thank you especially to anyone who worked behind this webinar, CRT mentors, and Tech for Good, and of course the discussion panelists, because despite their hectic schedule, their bombarding requirements, etc., they still put this aside and allotted time for us, Claretians, to help us be aspiring researchers. So it's well known that students dread the idea of research. Like when we hear the term research, parang gusto natin mabaon sa lupa, di ba? Like parang pagod ka na, dumating pa talaga yung research. Oh my God, yeah. So however, despite how intimidating research may sound, it actually helps us in terms of how we think, how we approach different materials, how we see the world, especially our future career. It helps us become analytical, practical, realistic, and improve our speaking skills. It also helps us become smarter. We get to know the world more because of the research. That everything we know of is there because of research. Like for me personally lang when I joined CRT, then I learned how to live research, I got a lot of opportunities that grade 10 me can't even imagine. Like I got to meet new friends from Japan, Singapore, America, just because I joined a research-based organization. It also helped me improve my public speaking skills. I mean, I was already a debater, so I was on the way of improving. However, debate is opinion-based compared to research, which is academically based. Academic presentation was an aspect I need to improve on, and I did improve when I started research. Even though I can't say research is basic lang or easy, we can't deny that there's something about research that improves our individuality. We are training our minds to contribute to this developing human race. So then again, love research. If you hate it, learn to love it na lang. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you so much, for the wonderful closing remarks, ovary tubo. Ayan. So before I am going to end this activity, no, I am highly encouraging everyone, no, to our lovely participants to open their cam, no, if kaya ng internet, for our picture taking. No, yun. Para naman may remembrance tayo na for this afternoon's activity. Ayan, sige po, open po tayo ng camera para groupie tayo. Sir Daniel, excuse me, Sir Daniel. Wait. Sir, kayo po ba yung mag-screenshot ng ano?
Yes, Jan.
Okay, sige po, sir. I think ready naman po yung iba. Let me see po. Ayun, so I think ready na po sila.
I think ready na sila, no? So everyone, keep
Opo.
smiling.
Okay.
Keep smiling, everyone. So meron tayong 6 slides. So give me the best smile for, full screen. Yan. Ay, okay, good. 1. Yan. Okay. Yeah, yun. Next page. Smile lang. Third page. Fourth. Fifth. And last one. Keep smiling. Ayan. Thank you very much.
Ayan. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you everyone, no, for participating on this afternoon's activity. We do really appreciate, no, for giving us your time and yung effort na maka-attend dito, most especially to our discussants, no, our ates and kuyas. So once again, I am Jana Rojas, your MC for today's this afternoon's activity, signing off. So yun lang po. Thank you so much and bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alexis, Shira, Natalie, Adi. Of course, to our
Thank you, sir.
ating mga guests
Yes, sir.
from Ateneo, from Pilar College, from Western Mindanao State University also. And of course, our very own guys from Zamboanga students.